Hey, do you want to watch that movie I told you about later?
What movie?
The one about Ian Nasir, the ancient Mesopotamian copper merchant, except now he's transported into the modern day and he's running a crypto scam.
I don't know. Let me look it up on Does the Dog Die real quick.
Oh, right, I forgot you were doing that fiction detox thing.
Okay, good. A dog does die.
Good?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
I thought you were exclusively consuming wholesome, cozy stuff nowadays.
What? Oh, that. No. That was just a phase. I've made my way back to reality now.
Have you?
Yeah, now I don't want to read or watch or consume anything unless it centers around extreme suffering and despair.
Why?
Because that's what the real world is full of, obviously.
I mean, yeah, but it's also full of puppies and rainbows and coffee shops.
Yeah, and what happens to all that stuff in the end?
I don't see what you're getting at.
What's the old formula, Derek?
The old formula?
Tragedy equals comedy plus time.
That's not how that saying goes.
Everything and everyone dies. If a movie ends before all the main characters have died, the implication is that within the context of that story, the characters might as well have gone on living forever. But that's stupid. In the real world, our stories don't end in moments of happiness after we've resolved a bunch of neatly designed plot threads carefully laid out for us. They end in death. So any movie that attempts to capture that reality must be inherently anticlimactic.
I think part of the reason people like stories that have happy endings is because they don't like to think about that.
Which is exactly the problem. People start to believe the messages in the media they consume. If we only read stories about pony farms and coffee shops, then we'll start to believe those are the only things that matter. We'll ignore the horrors of the real world. And then we'll be dragged down into tyranny and oppression before anyone's the wiser. It's like what Karl Marx said, lattes are the opium of the people.
Are you deliberately misquoting all these sayings?
The only solution is to consume explicitly sadomasochistic works of fiction in which all of the main characters are at best complicit in acts of extreme violence, and in which they constantly propagate the spread of wickedness and cruelty.
Why?
Because that's what the real world is like, Derek. You're either evil or you're helpless to stop evil. The only way to liberate the human spirit from its degraded state is to constantly acknowledge this fact and to never allow ourselves a moment of rest in a world plagued by wickedness and sin.
And you don't think all these Grimdark books aren't just perpetuating that wickedness by refusing to offer a picture of a better world?
Oh, what? So we're just supposed to coddle people and tell them everything's gonna be okay. We can change the world through the power of bunnies and rainbows and positive thinking.
I think people are more motivated to be good when they feel good.
Grow up, Derek.
Just because a book isn't filled with murder and incest and assault on every page doesn't mean it's a book for kids.
Oh, don't even get me started on kids. Do you know the reason I got fired from that local daycare I was working at? It's because I was just trying to give them some age-appropriate reading.
What did you read to them?
A book on Warhammer 40k lore.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even asked.
It's not my fault that all the other kids' books are these happy-go-lucky fairy tales where the good guys always win and the bad guys always lose. They needed something a little more realistic.
There is nothing remotely realistic about Warhammer 40k.
You know, maybe I should write my own kids' books. Think about it. Charlie and the Carnage Factory. Where the Chaos Gods Are. Slonish's Web.
Please stop.
Tales of a 4th grade neophyte. The Never-Ending Gory. The BFG.
The BFG?
Yeah, except this time it wouldn't stand for Big Friendly Giant, if you know what I mean.
I already miss your cozy era.
Hey, you're welcome to watch your Ian Nasir movie if you want, okay? I'm gonna get back to reading Grimdark Finnegan's Wake.
Of course, that's a real thing.
You should give it a try. It really picks up after HCE joins the Space Marines.